Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if this is the first time you've ever joined. What we're going to talk about today are some quick, easy, filling breakfast items. And I say filling and I emphasize filling because they keep me full until it's time for lunch. And then when lunch hits, I'm not sitting there trying to eat everything under the sun because I'm so hungry. So if you're a breakfast person, awesome. Stay tuned and hang out and watch me today. If you're not a breakfast person, you probably didn't even click on the video anyway. So you might be asking yourself, why breakfast? Should I eat breakfast? Should I not eat breakfast? There's so many different answers to that question depending on who you're listening to or what you're reading, but that's a world that I have learned within the past year to move away from. And the reason why I eat breakfast is because by 10:30, 11 o'clock, my body is saying, feed me. I am starving, feed me food. So that's why I eat breakfast. But I try to find breakfast that is super filling and just really satisfying because I do enjoy breakfast food. But I also like to find different foods that aren't, you know, the usual cereal or eggs and bacon. Like, I like to try to find breakfast food that I can prep ahead of time, have it ready to go, just grab it, eat it, and I'm good to go. So for me, back in the day, I would always eat breakfast because whatever diet I was on said you have to eat breakfast and you have to eat this many calories at breakfast. Or it would say you can't eat breakfast and you can't eat anything until a certain time. But I'm working to move past that, and I'm working to not be in such a restrictive mindset. If that's the mindset that you're living in currently, that's okay. That's just not the mindset that I'm in and that I'm working toward getting away from. So again, the reason why I eat breakfast is because my body literally says, feed me. Sometimes it's telling me to feed me at 9:30, whenever it is whenever I eat. Today, the two meals that I'm gonna go over with you are so delicious. They are super satisfying and they're healthy for you, depending on what you define healthy as. What I love to do is take food that is generally considered bad for you or unhealthy, and I like to make it so that it's completely good for you and you can't even tell the difference. It tastes like you get it at one of these restaurants that consider it like bad for you. So we're going to be doing pancakes today. We're going to do pancakes 3 ways. I'm going to show you how to do pancakes plain. I'm going to show you how to do pancakes blueberry style, and I'm going to show you how to do chocolate chip pancakes. So I'll show you how to do the plain, but I'm not going to actually make them plain. I'm going to throw the blueberries and the chocolate chip in because I want to spice it up this week. Then I'm going to show you 3 different ways to do overnight oats. Seriously, the easiest breakfast ever. You're just dumping things into a bowl, putting them into little containers, picking your toppings, and that's it. They're done. The containers that I'm going to use in today's video are the same containers that I always use. It's these black ones that have the clear lids. They're like the cheapest containers you can find. There is no reason to be spending a ton of money on meal prep containers. If you're like me, I always leave these wherever I am, so I go through them so often. I'm linking these down below so you have them available if you want to go grab them. They also have them at like local Walmart, Target, wherever they have these, but I highly suggest these because again, they're super cheap and they fit a lot of food in them as well. So I'm going to use these for the pancakes. They have these little pockets here for the syrup. So if you're like a pancake dipper, some people like to dip their pancakes. Where I'm a pourer, I like to pour and dip my pancakes. So these are perfect for pancakes. Then I also have these little container cups. These I use for everything. I use these so much whenever I'm meal prepping. So for today, we're going to be using them for jellies and syrups, but I also have these linked below because, again, you just want to stock up with these because you will use them constantly. And they pre-portion out sizes too, which is super nice and comes in handy. Let's go ahead and get started. First thing we're going to do is we're going to make these pancakes. And these pancakes are quick and easy. They have minimal ingredients. So we're going to be working with flour, which I already have all of this prepared. We're going to be working with yogurt. So I use Greek yogurt and I use this light and fit Greek yogurt because it only has 80 calories and it does the job, and I use vanilla flavor. So I'm going to show you 3 different ways to make these pancakes. I'm going to show you plain, and then I'm going to show you chocolate. So these are chocolate chips. You can use dark chocolate. You can use, this is like a sugar-free chocolate by Russell Stover, however you say that. I love this brand, and I love this specific one because you cannot tell that that's sugar-free. And honestly, it doesn't really make a difference. It's only a 10-calorie difference if you just get real chocolate. So, but I just grabbed those and I love them. And I'm also going to show you blueberry pancakes. So with these pancakes, we'll also be going into syrups. I'm going to teach you how to make a super quick blueberry syrup, which I, no joke, pour on everything. We're going to start out with our flour. Now, when it comes to flour, you can use literally any flour that you want with this. There's no specific flour that you have to use. I have tested this recipe a million gajillion times, and the best consistency that I've gotten is this Red Mill baking flour. I went to the grocery store, I got to the flour section, and I turned all of the flours around and I looked at the calorie content of the flour, and then I just picked them, and then I realized flour pretty much has the same amount of calories in it no matter what kind of flour it is. But I grabbed this Bob's Red Mill, and I was like, this is probably going to be disgusting, but I'm going to try it. So I grabbed this flour, and I also tried it with just regular like baking flour, like regular baking flour. And the consistency of regular flour worked, but I just really liked the consistency that this flour gave. So that's what I'm going to be using today. Also, vanilla extract, and then Splenda. You can use sugar if you want to use sugar. You can use stevia. You can use honey. You can use coconut sugar. You can use any kind of sugar you want. I like Splenda, so I'm using Splenda. We're going to start with 2 eggs. I have medium-sized eggs, and I'm just going to crack these eggs into this bowl that I have. So I'm putting the whole egg in, not just the egg whites. That's a recipe for another day. But we're going to put these eggs in. And again, that's 2 eggs. We're going to put 2 packets of Splenda, or whatever it is that you choose to use. Then we're going to do 2 teaspoons of our vanilla extract. I put that in. The next thing we're going to do is 4 tablespoons of that yogurt. So 4 tablespoons of the Light and Fit Greek yogurt. And again, it doesn't have to be Light and Fit. It can be any kind of Greek yogurt that you like. I just got vanilla because of the extra flavor for it. So I got the vanilla. I even tried like a cinnamon one. I've tried pumpkin. You can put any flavor that you want. The vanilla just, I don't know, it gives you like a really good base. What we're going to do is we're going to mix all of that together. So we're going to take our mixer and we're going to mix our ingredients that we have here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put in this flour. So I did 8 tablespoons of flour. So I'm going to go ahead and put in those 8 tablespoons of flour, and I'm going to mix that, and it makes a nice thick batter. So you get a nice fluffy pancake. You see this consistency? If it's thinner than this, then something went wrong. And if it's thicker than this, you probably have too much flour, and I would add a little bit of more of the yogurt. And if it's thinner, I would just add more flour. I'm going to go ahead and spray my pan. We're just going to use a normal pan, and I'm going to spray it with Pam. So basically, I was able to fit 3 pancakes on my pan. So now I'm going to let them sit until little bubbles come up. Whenever little bubbles come up, which I'll show you, then I'm going to flip them and I'm going to cook them again. So the first pancake would be plain pancakes. If you want plain pancakes, then when these start to bubble, you'll flip them over and continue to cook them, and then boom, you're done. You have plain pancakes. I'm going to go ahead and add some chocolate to these 3 pancakes just to sass it up a bit, because who doesn't like chocolate? I use dark chocolate a lot too, just because I love the flavor of dark chocolate. But again, you can use any kind of chocolate. If you want to use milk chocolate, then use milk chocolate. But today we're using this sugar-free chocolate that is delicious. So for the last set of pancakes, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna make blueberry pancakes. So we made plain pancakes, we made chocolate where we just added the chocolate into the batter, and now I added in blueberries into the batter, and I'm gonna go ahead and make those. This will make my final 3 pancakes. I made a total of 6, so I have 2 days worth of pancakes. It's important that whenever you're scooping the pancake batter onto the pan, it's pretty thick, so spread it out as much as you can because you want to get a pretty big pancake. So I'm gonna let those cook, and once they start to get that bubble, I'm gonna flip them over, let them cook again, and then those are gonna be done. Everything that I make is all about making sure it tastes good, first of all, but also trying to just eat whatever I want, but be smart about it. So I want pancakes, I'm gonna make pancakes and I'm gonna eat them, but I'm gonna find a different way to make them taste just as good as if I went to our local pancake house and ordered them and doused them in syrup, which if I want to do, I'm going to do that as well. But I try to find a way to make them just as good. You cannot believe that it's so healthy. Okay, so now I have my pancakes. These are my blueberry pancakes, and there are 3 pancakes in this container. And then I also have my chocolate pancakes. So these are about 210 calories in these pancakes without the chocolate and without the blueberries. So I put like maybe a teaspoon of chocolate in here, so that's probably 20 to 30 calories maybe. And I put like a handful of the blueberries in here, so that's probably like 20 to 30 calories as well. So the next thing is the syrup. So for my chocolate pancakes, I just like to have normal syrup, and I always buy this Carrie's, if you can see it, however you pronounce it, sugar-free syrup. So you have to be careful because a lot of sugar-free syrup tastes disgusting. It's like super duper duper gross. This does not taste sugar-free at all, just like this chocolate here. It's just trial and error. If it doesn't taste good, it's not worth it, and I would just get normal syrup, and it is what it is because it's delicious. But this syrup is delicious. So what I'll do is I have little dressing cups, and this syrup only has 5 calories and 2 tablespoons. There's probably about 4 tablespoons in this little cup. I like a lot of syrup, so I fill the cup up, but some people don't like a lot of syrup, so you don't have to put a lot of syrup in, but I'll go ahead and fill this cup with syrup, and then I'll just place it in the container, and it is ready to go. I'm also gonna show you a super quick, easy recipe for blueberry syrup. I'm gonna take my pan that I have, and then I'm also going to take a container of blueberries. This makes a lot of syrup. So I'm gonna take this whole container of blueberries, and I'm gonna dump it into my pan. I'm gonna add a little bit of water to this, and then I'm gonna put it on the burner until it starts boiling. When I say add a little bit of water, I'm talking like half a cup of water. You don't want them to be completely covered in water, but you want them to be like swimming. So you wanna have like a pretty decent amount of water, because as these blueberries cook down, the water is gonna mix with the blueberry and thicken, and that's what's gonna make the syrup. You can add sugar to this if you want to. I don't, because it's not necessary. It's so good even without sugar. You could add Splenda again, you could add stevia, whatever it is that you like, but I promise you, these blueberries, they don't need it. Okay, so we have our blueberry syrup here, and this blueberry syrup is so good on so many things. It's nice, it's thick. Just be super careful because this will stain your countertops and basically anything that it touches. So whenever you're dividing it up or pouring it into a container, just be like super duper 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 careful not to get it all over something. So there's really only like 85 calories in that. So if you're counting calories and that's something that you're into, then that way you'll know. But they are super healthy, and you do get a lot for the amount of calories that are in here. And I'm gonna go ahead and load up all my little containers. I might just prep a bunch of these and have them in the fridge, so then I can just grab them for whatever I want to use them for. Here's my syrups. I'm gonna have 2 of these because again, I like a lot of syrup. So I'm gonna put 2 of these in my little container. And there we go. I have my prepped pancakes for the next 2 days, chocolate chip and then blueberry. So that's our first breakfast. Next, we're gonna get into overnight oats. I am obsessed with overnight oats. They are so filling. They are so delicious. They taste like you're eating a dessert, honestly, but they fill you up for so long and you just feel so satisfied. Today I'm gonna be using these type of jars, not because I'm trying to be fancy or sassy, it's just because they're perfect for overnight oats. They're just super easy. You put the lid on and you put them in the fridge and you grab it and you put it in your lunchbox for the next day. They're just so easy. So that's why I have these jars. They are, of course, linked below if you want to grab them. You can use a regular container. It doesn't have to be fancy, but I don't know. I just love those, and they are so portable and easy to carry around. Today what we're going to do are 3 different oats. We're going to do overnight oats banana nut style. We're going to do chocolate peanut butter style, and then we're going to do peanut butter and jelly style. The overnight oat base recipe. That's what we're going to start with. You can make just the base recipe, and from there you pick your toppings to make your different flavors. First thing we're going to do is we're going to take 1.5 cups of oats, and these are just your normal rolled oats. You can get any brand that you want. At our grocery store, this is what we have, and this is what I grabbed. They're called old-fashioned rolled oats. They are organic. I didn't do that on purpose. They just are organic. This doesn't look like a lot, but you have to remember, this is going to grow, and it's going to get bigger and bigger in these jars, and you're going to look at this tomorrow morning and be like, oh my gosh, this is so many oats. So we're going to take our 1.5 cups of oats. Then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take 3 tablespoons of chia seeds. So again, this is making 3 portions. So everything I'm putting into this bowl is going to be divided by 3 different jars for 3 different days. So chia seeds. When I first learned about chia seeds or saw them being used in different recipes, I was like, what's up with those things? Like, why does everybody use them? Is it just like a healthy thing? But then I used them and now I'm obsessed with them because they transform into a different texture when they sit overnight, and it's like this little pop of magic in every single bite that you get. So I am not a technical person. I am not a chef. I can't tell you what's happening to these things. I just know that they're delicious, so I'm going to use them. They're also like really high in fiber and iron and calcium, which is all things our bodies need, so they definitely are really good. 3 tablespoons of chia seeds is going into my 1.5 cups of oats. Boop, just like that. Then I'm going to do 2 cups of, you choose whatever kind of milk. I love and I'm obsessed with this banana almond milk. It's so good. If you can find it, this is Almond Breeze is the brand, banana flavored almond milk. I love banana flavor in my oats. You could use chocolate. You could use oat milk. You could use just regular milk. You can use any type of milk that you want in these. So I'm going to take 2 cups and I'm going to pour it into my chia seeds and into my oats. And I'm going to take this entire 2 cups and pour it in. And I want all that milk to get in there. So I'm not the biggest fan of almond milk by itself. Some people love it. They can pour it over cereal and like get in there and love it. I'm not like the biggest fan of it, but I will put it in my oats because it's so delicious and it just takes up, again, that banana flavor so much. Next thing I'm going to add is some honey. So we want to sweeten this up a bit. I'm going to use honey because I love honey, and anytime I have an opportunity to put honey in something, I do. If you want to put sugar in here, put sugar in there if you want to. If you want to put Splenda in here, you can put Splenda in there. You can put whatever you want, but I'm just going to put some honey. Probably will end up being about 2 tablespoons of honey, and that's that. Now I'm really going to mix it up. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to mix it all together, mix it really good. So this is the base of our oats. So from this point, you just build the flavors any way that you want to. You can sass these suckers up all different kinds of ways. I'm going to show you 3 ways today, but I could probably do like 20 videos just on overnight oats. But I picked some of my favorite flavors that I really, really, really like. I'm going to fill each jar with my oats. So I'm going to divide this bowl equally between these 3 jars. Okay, so I have them dispersed equally between my 3 jars. Now it's time for the fun part, the toppings. And this is where you can get wild with it. You can make these however you want. So the first ones we're gonna make are peanut butter and jelly. I'm obsessed with peanut butter, so I use a lot of peanut butter. I just use good old Jif. I get the natural peanut butter, and it's not that kind where you have to like stir it up. It's super good. It's low sodium, and it tastes like peanut butter. If you are into almond butter, you can use different almond butters. I've used like vanilla almond butter before, and that's super good as well. But I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna use peanut butter, just a tablespoon. That's all it needs, because when you mix it up, peanut butter has a strong flavor, so you don't need to get wild with it. I think sometimes people overdo it with peanut butter. Peanut butter, you don't need a ton of it because the flavor is so strong. And then for my jelly, this is Smucker's low sugar jelly. This is the strawberry. It has actual chunks of strawberry in it, and it's just so good. So I'm gonna take 2 tablespoons of the jelly. It's delicious. And I'm gonna put the jelly into my overnight oats. I'm gonna take my tablespoon of my peanut butter and I'm gonna put that into my oats. And I'm gonna put the lid on. I'm gonna tighten it up. That's gonna go into the fridge, and that is my first set of oats, peanut butter and jelly. So good. This has about 430 calories in it. Grand total. So for my peanut butter and jelly, I'm using the Smucker's low sugar, but I could totally use that jelly that we just made with the blueberries if you wanted to use the blueberry jelly. Spice it up each day, whatever you want to do. But today I'm going to use I'm in the mood for that strawberry flavor. Next one that I'm going to do is chocolate peanut butter. So exactly, it's super easy. I'm going to take that peanut butter again, that same Jif natural peanut butter. I'm gonna put that into my oats, and I'm gonna go ahead and take some chocolate chips. You could use dark chocolate chips, you could use those sugar-free chocolate chips. That's what I'm gonna be using, semi-sweet, sugar-free. I'm just gonna put those in there, put the lid on real tight. So my chocolate peanut butter overnight oats, this version of them is about 460 calories. It's 1 tablespoon of that peanut butter and also about a tablespoon of that chocolate. That is my second overnight oat. My third overnight oats flavor is going to be banana nut. So I have about a tablespoon of chopped walnuts. I'm gonna put that right in. And then I have 1 whole banana that I'm gonna go ahead and put in here. You could do half a banana if you didn't wanna do like a full banana, but I love banana, so put the whole banana in, whatever you want to do. 1 full banana. The banana nut one comes to about 460 calories as well, and that includes that whole banana. So if you wanted to cut that down a little bit, you could just use half a banana. So that's it. We have our 3 different kinds of overnight oats. Put these in the fridge, let them sit in the fridge overnight, grab it in the morning, and they are done. And I have 3 days worth, and they will last for 3 days. So it's okay for them to sit in there for 3 days. They won't get like extra mushy or anything. They'll still be super good. So those are our 3 overnight oats. Super quick, super fast, super filling, and really healthy as well. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoy these recipes as much as I do. I know that breakfast can be a struggle sometimes, coming up with different foods to eat, so it's not the same thing every single day. So please, if you try these recipes, comment, let me know how you liked them, like the video. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe so you can make sure to tune in anytime I share with you all the different ways to stay living in food freedom every single day.